Okay, boys and girls, this week you're going to do something super exciting. You're going to be authors and illustrators of your own story. But before we write a story, we need to know how to write a story. A story always has a beginning, a middle, and an end. What's in the beginning of a story? Who's in the story? Where and when is it happening? What is the character's problem or many characters' problem? In the middle of the story, what's in the middle of the story? What happens to the characters? How do they try to solve their problem? And in the end of the story, what happens at the end? How do they solve the problem? What lessons do the characters learn? So, when we write a story, we always must have a beginning, a middle, and an end. I'm gonna retell you a story that has a beginning, middle, and end. All of you know this story very well. It's about three little pigs who lived in the forest, and each one wanted to build their own house. The first pig built his own house out of sticks. And then who came along? The big bad wolf. He came along, he huffed and he puffed, and he blew the house of sticks down. Uh-oh, that's the problem. And then the second pig came and he built his own house out of straws. And then who came along? The big bad wolf came along and he huffed and he puffed and he blew the house of straws down. And what happened? The two little pigs ran to the house of bricks. And the big bad wolf came and he huffed and he puffed and he could not blow down the house of bricks. That's in the middle of the story. And what happened at the end of the story? The pigs outsmarted the big bad wolf and they lived happily ever after, and the big bad wolf ran away. So in this chart, you're going to have it on our page. I want you to write me what happened in the beginning of the three little pigs story. The three little pigs lived in a forest. In the middle, each one wanted to build their own house, but the big bad wolf came and he huffed and he puffed and he blew the houses down. And the end of the story, the pigs outsmarted the big bad wolf and they lived happily ever after, and the big bad wolf ran away. So you're going to be writing on top and drawing the pictures here, matching your writing. Now it's your turn. I want you to write your own stories. Remember the presentation of your writing goals? I want you to look over it, and this is how I want you to be writing your stories, with details, with super pictures matching your words. And these ideas are: imagine you were a dinosaur for one day. Describe what that day would be like. So you can tell us, what kind of dinosaur are you going to be? Where are you going to do? What was the problem and how did you solve it? And here I gave you the title of a story, The Baby Dragon. Your title of your story is The Baby Dragon. Where is the baby dragon doing? What is he going? How did he live? What problems did he face and how did he solve it? Another story you can be writing is about your superpowers. Imagine you got superpowers. How did you get your superpowers? What are you going to be using it for? What problems did you face and solve? Another story you can be writing, imagine you met a genie and he granted you three wishes. What would they be? What are the three wishes are going to be? And why did you choose them? And what are you going to be doing with them? The last story that you can write about is, if imagine you went to the moon for one day. How did you go with a rocket ship and how did you get there? How did you get the rocket ship? How are you going to get back on Earth? What did you do in the moon? You can use your imagination because you have a great imagination. You don't need to use all of these ideas. You can use your own ideas. I want you to write in details very neatly. Again, I'm telling you, go back to your writing goals and review them and write it down. I want you to use this paper. It's also on our page, or you can write it in the journal. But I want you to use in the beginning of the story, who's your character? What are they doing? What's happening here? And then in the middle, what is the problem? And at the end, how did you solve the problem? Or what is the lesson being learned? You are super writers and super illustrators. I cannot wait to read all of your stories. We are super proud of you, and I hope you enjoy the writing. Have a good day.